Yo, what up, my friends? So today I want to talk about how restaurants actually work. If you just got hired in a restaurant, if you work in a restaurant, watch this because it's going to be very interesting to you. We're about to break down the psychology behind the industry, man. So this was my first, experience working in restaurants. So I got hired and literally never worked in restaurants before. And this was 10 years ago. And the moment that I walk in, I was on my own. They're gonna train you, right? They're gonna give you a guide that you can follow around. And this guy is supposed to break down the rules for you, Oh, you can do this, you cannot do that. This is how everything works. Pay attention, kind of thing. But basically you're gonna discover everything by trial and error. You're gonna learn maybe the menu and the rules of the house, and everything else will be freestyle, bitch. That's how restaurant work. So if you can, do a little research on your own and, study how to carry trays, how to, if you're a bartender, how to shake the drinks, how to pour correctly. They might give you some guidance, like quick, but you are on your own, which is the beautiful thing about restaurant, because you're literally just thrown to the wolves and figure it out, save yourself kind of deal. And it works. In this journey, you're gonna find mentors, you're gonna find friends, and you're gonna find backstabbing motherfuckers who, which is the most interesting thing, is like the haters, you know what I mean? Especially guys, if you got hired right now and then you have a coworker that's like, yeah, I be here for 5 years. And you're just like, damn. Because serving technically is supposed to be temporary. People, I think, who made a living and they like now is their whole life working in a restaurant, I think at some point that took over their lives and they didn't have, I don't know. It's just weird because, especially if you work as a server, it's just a temporary thing, right? You want to make money and leave. And people who got stuck in the job, they actually have a hater mindset. Like, oh, look at this new guy coming in and think he's the shit. Like one of my biggest mistakes, I think, that ever, is a naivety thing. First time I got tip $100, I work at this nightclub. First tip $100 in my life. I was 3 years in restaurants and it never happened before. Right? I worked in pool systems before, which sucks. If I can recommend you to not work in pool system where everybody gathers the tip, please go after the ones where you make your own tip. That's the best advice I can give anybody. So when I got the chance and I was giving my best customer service, I got tip $100 by a couple. What I did was I ran after the whole restaurant and I was like, yo, look at this, man. I just got $100. I was like